I thought we were still warming up. Okay, good morning, everybody. Uh, my name is Osama Manzar, as you heard. With second name is important. Yeah, as much as the first name. Uh, well, I run an organization called Digital Empowerment Foundation. We have been running it for the last 9 years. Uh, Mohit was kind enough to call me last time also about 2 years back. And some of the people who heard me here are now working also with us. So it was a good contribution of TEDx for DEF. Well, we have, Mohit told me very clearly that let's make it 18 minutes only so that we can make it to the web also of TEDx. I come from a very humble background of, I was born in Bihar, just to give you a little background, in Champaran, which is now quite famous for development, but recently very famous for dacoity and, underdevelopment and so on and so forth. I recently went there. There is no electricity still there where I was born. I grew up in Ranchi and studied in Aligarh. My first school was madrasa. I went to madrasa. I completed my Quran in the age of 66, in childhood. It has been a long journey. I don't come from a background of having studied any IT or technology or software or computer science. I did my graduation in 7 years. Barely had to take a lot of help taking the cheat in the toilet to copy and just because I was tired of living in university for 8 years and I wanted to get out of it, so had to do something innovative at that point of time to get out, and I got about 49.6% in physics as a physics graduate. Well, I don't know anything about physics, by the way. I did 1 year of journalism course. English was a medium. It was just a journalism. And I grew up around JNU for 4 years without job. Anybody who has seen JNU, in front of JNU, there is a slum on the hills of, in front of JNU. That's where I used to live because I didn't have money. My father told me not to give you any money because you have been useless. And I had a girlfriend also there, so, you're having a girlfriend, not having a job for 4 years, and she is a Brahmin, so, you can imagine a Muslim, a Brahmin. So everything was going, for 4 years from 90 to 94 was amazing, from the traditional point of view. So I grew up with that kind of thing, and the first job I got, first stable job I got was in a computer magazine as a journalist. And at that time, I knew only 2 words, software and hardware. Software you can't see, and hardware you can touch and feel. So that's how I grew up. Started writing stories about, and 2 years' time, there may be not a single CEO of the country who I may not have interviewed from 94 to 96 or early 97. And that became the basis of my learning of IT and computers. Bought a computer on loan and learned about it. I was one of those generation who used to experience modem, as a music, the connection of and used to sit in computer whole night to download softwares and all those things. In 99, I got a job in HT. I became the head of the interactive media division of Hindustan Times Internet with 2 people. So I was head of for just 2 people. So, but when I left in about 3 years' time, 2.5 years' time, we were 35 people. We built one of the portals in competition to Rediff called digitalht.com. And it was, it got a $9 million investment from Chase Capital. And the owner of HT decided to look for a CEO from Citibank of Malaysia. So I walked out and started my own software company, ran it for 4 years, sold off, and then started DEF. So that's the story of Digital Empowerment Foundation. The topic that I would like to stress here is that the reason I got into this one is because I found the relevance of technology, media, is a very high power relevance to the development of the country. I traveled around in the country and I realized that the relevance of the technology is much higher now than ever in the past, especially because in the last 60 years we could not leapfrog the development. You know, we don't have roads, we don't have electricity, we don't have many, many things, you know. All these big numbers that come in front of you as a statistics are just the numbers which are, you know, situated in metros and, you know, cities and all that. But just walk out of this and you find that still more than 90% people are disconnected, you know. Just to give you a small figure of some of the numbers, I mean, you also have the big number of economy of digital technology, but look at the numbers. We have 2.5 lakh panchayat in the country, not even a single has connection, you know. And 2,50,000 panchayat have 3 million members, elected members, government members. Nobody knows IT or ICT, and they are supposed to be accountable to the government. We have 1.4 million schools in our country, and we don't even have 1 lakh school having ICT labs. That's education. We have 3.3 million NGOs in our country. More than 80% do not have a website, and they all live in the villages. These are the numbers I'm throwing to you is because these are the numbers which reflect the country on the other side, which you and me do not see on a daily basis. Or if you see, you pass by them, you know, in your cars, in your bikes, and things like that. And we have 24,000, 25,000 PHCs, public health centers, not a single of them connectivity. Nobody wants to go and work there. Why? Because, you know, it's too remote. That's health sector, social sector. We have in marketing, in the business sector, we have 26 million companies in the country. 26 million. These are the companies who make your country to rely on your own economy. You know, that's the reason why you keep hearing that even though there is a slowdown in economy all over the world, India is not affected. Why it is not affected? Because our country's economy is not based on stock markets, you know, although your English newspaper says so, you know, but it is not. 26.1 million companies in our country employ 60 million people, and they are the backbone of the business of our country. More than 80% of them have no connectivity, no utilization of ICT which they could have. You know, so if you look at the government, if you look at the sector of business, if you look at the social sector, if you look at the education sector, if you look at the health sector, all of them are disconnected. But all our, you know, planning, if you go to planning commission, the planning is not targeted to this way, you know. On the name of e-government, we have the thinking which is top-down. On the name of e-business and e-commerce, we have a top-down model. We have, in terms of social sector connectivity, we have again top-down model. So these are something that we do not see the world as, you know, it should have been seen, because then you can institutionally solve the problem. And that's exactly what Digital Empowerment Foundation does. You know, we work in this way so that we connect to the people at the grassroots level. You know, so we for the last 8-9 years, we have been working in about 15 states. We have been working with 500 panchayat. We have been working with about 100 MSMEs. We are working with about 1,000 NGOs. And all of these are first time, what I call as the information people, first time connected people. These are the people who have a desire to come online, but they do not have a means to come online. You know, we all here struggle. Where is the business model? How do I write a business model? If you go to any management institute, any IITs, all the business models are around the metros. All the business models are the people who are connected. All the business models are the people who are at the top of the ice creams, you know. But nobody goes at the bottom of the pyramid to create a situation. I was just looking at a presentation and somebody was showing that how many numbers on Twitter we have, how many numbers we have Facebook. Of course, we have huge numbers. We are the 3rd largest country on Facebook. You know, we are the 3rd largest connected people. 3rd largest connected people is a number. But what is that? That's less than 10% in our country. That's less than. We have one of the largest English-speaking people. That is only 5% in our country. Think about it. We have 100 million connected people in our country, 100 million subscription in our country. But more than 60% of them connect to the internet only once in a month. They are as good as not connected. You cannot treat them as a consumer online. But we have 800 million mobile connectivity. Nobody is planning from that point of view. That's a sad thing, because the reason is, I'm saying why I'm stressing on mobile is because entire country is oral by nature. You know, why we are illiterate? Because we don't know how to read and write. What is reading and writing? It's a technology. Pencil is a technology, pen is a technology, paper is a technology. We don't see them as a technology. Future generation will call tablet and Facebooks not technology. It's just a communication medium. So paper and pen and everything is a communication medium. So if today's communication medium is mobile, then bloody hell we are all literate, you know. Because my poor person in a village can open an account without signing a piece of paper. It is technologically possible and legally possible. I have hundreds and thousands of people who are queuing up in the Kirana shop. They are now ready to open a bank account without having to sign a piece of paper. Why? They just walk into the shop. There is a model, there is a technology. Echo is a company I'm sure many of you have heard of. If you haven't, I can let you know that you can open an account just by having a mobile number. How many people have mobile? At least everybody. I think any village if you walk in, I'm sure you will see that at least one person in a family will have a mobile. People are becoming English literate by using mobile because they get Roman messages in Hindi and they are trying to read it. They can't read it. They are asking their son and daughters to read it, and then gradually they are figuring out what is alphabet. So it is very, very important. What is the population of our youth in our country? 45% almost. But we all want to leave villages and come to the cities. I am telling you, most of you are very young people here who are aspiring to do something differential. I would say that go to the villages. Don't tell the villages to come here. You go to the villages. There is a saturation point here that's very, very important. There is a business model in 70% of the country. It is sad that why we are not looking at those 70-80% as a business model. There is a business there. It's not I'm saying that you have to do a social work to go there. You don't have to. We live in clusters. You know, we are a country who live in clusters. It is important to look at them as a cluster. You know, go to Firozabad cluster, go to Chanderi cluster, go to Varanasi cluster. They live in a kind of ghetto society, but cluster-based society where they have skills, they have wisdom, they have tradition, they have history. But no, we are just killing all of them one by one without working on them and trying to bring them something what we call as the modern economy, which is glass-based. You know, so it's very, you know, the entire aspiration is based on a very, very, what you call as the westernized way of looking at it as a basis of aspiration, you know. It's very, very important that we look at the 70 to 80% of the country. And, you know, you won't believe that I feel alone when I do there. How many people can you find who may have seen 1,000 villages? I have seen more than 1,000 villages and not paid a single penny. I have been to 25 countries, not paid a single penny to go there. You don't need all the time to have a packet of 65 lakh rupees from IIT to get a Facebook page and aspire for it, you know. There is so much money in the social causes also. You just have to convert it into a business model. And there are a lot. We are making, you know, when I'm saying web is a business model, everybody knows this. Internet is a business model, online. Can you make 26 million websites? Anybody can make 26 million websites? But there is an opportunity to make 26 million websites because all those guys need at least a page website. And even if you charge 100 rupees per page, you can't count a penny. You just can't count, you will get so much. Can you make 3 million websites for all the 3 million NGOs? In your lifetime you can't, but they want it. But all the .com and .org, everything sitting on the metros will say .com, .org and all that. How can you sell a .org or .com somebody who do not have a computer to buy online? But these guys will not go there. We have made at least 2,000 websites in last 1 year doing workshops at a village level. And each one of them wanted a website. Each one of them. And we do it. We don't even charge more than 2,000 rupees, maybe 1,000. Somebody tells that we can pay only 200 rupees or 500. We said, fair enough. It's a volume game. So, there is so much of business. We started a work in Chanderi. I'll just share with you. Chanderi is a place which is very famous for saris, for all those sari-loving women, which very few left over in our country. But those Chanderi saris, they produce 70 crore of business in 1 year. 70 crores. There are 3,500 weavers in Chanderi. But you know what is their take home per month, per family? 2,500. 2,500. Imagine the level of exploitation of those weavers, or the middleman's cunningness, that all the money keeps floating around the middleman area. I don't know if I finish in less than 13-15 minutes. I would like to show that movie. It's online also. It's a beautiful movie. You must see it. How we have used technology. How we have and we didn't ask them to leave Chanderi. We didn't ask them to become take a course on technology. No, but they have a e-commerce website. They are supplying without too many middlemen. Their weavers are now designers, textile designers and apparel designers. And their kids who wanted to didn't want to pursue the weaving, they are now pursuing weaving, along with having an alternative means to earn money by having ICT skill-based people. And Chanderi has more than 350 monuments in 5 kilometers. Have you seen any place in the world having 350 monuments within 5 kilometers? Or do you know your own country has got it? And it is just 6 hours from here. But tourists do not go there, not many. Very, very simple, different kind of tourists go there who want to go deeply into some historical monuments and something. Everybody will go to Khajuraho because that has been sold for various other reasons. Everybody will go to Orcha. Orcha has got just 2 monuments or 3 monuments, and it has got 350 monuments. I have gone 10 times, have not been able to finish all the monuments even now. We work there. And this is just one example. You go to every 5-10 kilometers, you will find monuments here, history here, culture here. But we are unable to sell them properly. And when I'm saying we literally are. Nobody else is responsible. We individually are responsible. More responsible if we are educated, so-called educated people. I call ourselves educated, illiterate people, We literally are. So, what I'm saying is that let's not get carried away by the digital hoopla or the hi-fi thing. It has a very, very meaningful relation with the development of a country. And that is the reason I told Mohit when he asked me that what will be the topic, I say information poverty. We are one of the most information poor country in the world. If you look at any information related to India, you won't find it very often there. As I told you, 6,35,000 villages, not even properly 1% or 2% would be online. Panchayats are not online. These are the reflection of our villages, of our country, of our wisdom. And that is exactly the reason why the world's worst products are being sold in our villages, because our best products are not being sold outside. It is information poverty, nothing else. Somebody else is selling you information much more intelligently, and we are becoming information consumer, and we are not becoming information producer. When I say information, everything, all the assets, knowledge, wisdom, everything, we should produce in such a way on the economy, which is basically the information economy. And we have failed to do that. And I feel that, I must stress, there is no other medium than web and internet, which is a permanent medium. As you know, it is a permanent medium. Every other medium is perishable, Newspaper dies in an hour, TVs in a moment, radio in a moment. All these are perishable commodity and medium. But what is the permanent medium? Web. It is extremely important that the permanent medium should have as much information about our culture, our tradition, our wisdom, our science, our everything. Otherwise, we'll become an allopathic consumer all our life, and Ayurvedic will be dumped under the wraps. That is the reason why all our buildings are becoming glass houses, which our climate doesn't support. We are not the climate. We are a tropical country. We are not supposed to have glass houses. But look at the selling of the information of the people who have been selling you glasses all your life. Go to Middle East. All the buildings are glass houses. You attract sun, and then you
want to use air conditioning to overcome that. What a life we have. Brilliant. So why? Because you have not been able to sell those tradition, those cultures. That is the reason you are consuming Pepsis and not selling sharbats and Cokes. That is the reason you have started cooking less and eating more fast food, because that is being sold fashionably. It has got fashion, it has got upmarket-ish. आप डब्बा खोलो जहाज में, तो people will look at it as if that some dehati has come in. Whereas you should feel proud that you have opened a, home-cooked food. So I'm going a little far, but the point is that it is extremely important to respect your. I'm not saying all our information would be the best information, but look at your information, look at your wisdom, look at your tradition, look at your culture, everything, and try to enhance and create it as an information which is shareable all over the world. I would say we will be depriving the world by not sharing our best wisdom. It is not us only. It is about the humanity also. It is extremely important the world should know what the best we have so that they also use it. It is not us. They should be able to differentiate between the worst and the best, rather than become a consumer to the information which is very consumeristic and not production based. Like Gandhi said, always use the products made by the masses, not use the product which is mass produced. There is a difference between the two. If you use the product made by the masses, everybody will share the money. And if you remain a consumer, then you are just a consumer, and you are making one person rich, or one company rich, or one conglomerate rich. That's all I have. Do you have about 4 minutes to show the movie? Yeah? Can you open chanderian.net?
Okay, it is there?
Yeah. If you have good bandwidth, otherwise then I'll have to. That's all I have, but you can.